Hey guys, so last time we created a poster for a series titled Tom Clancy's Brian, and today we are going to be designing a sports design poster for Victor Osimhen. The design was inspired by a design I found on X. Shoutouts to the designer. Now, before we go any further, please note that the reason for me doing this tutorial is for you to practice what I did, then try and make your own with a different image. But in no way should you recreate exactly what I did and post it online as your work, because that's just copying. Because you are meant to practice what I am doing and use those techniques and methods on an entirely different project. Now, let's get right into it. The dimension we are going to be using is 1080 by 1350 pixels. Afterwards, we are going to insert the sample image and our main images. Now, let's cut the images out of the background. Let's now use Camera Raw to enhance our images. We are now going to create a triangle shape and then layer mask the shape to our main image and also expand the layer mask. Let's now resize and place the remaining images. I then duplicated the triangle and changed the fill to 0% and also added stroke to the duplicated triangle. Afterwards, I added a city background, changed the blending mode to soft light, and added Gaussian blur with a radius of 4.9 pixels. I then duplicated the city background and changed the opacity to 46% and fill to 67% for the duplicated background. Afterwards, I grouped both backgrounds and added a black and white layer, levels layer, and a curve layer that I reduced the opacity to 50%. I then decided to add a football field background below, layer mask it and change the blending mode to soft light, opacity 80%, and I also added a levels layer and a black and white layer with an opacity of 50%. I now added drop shadows to each of our images to give them depth. Afterwards, I placed a shape I made earlier in Photoshop and also wrote out Victor Osimhen's Napoli stats on it. For our text, for the numbers, I used Married Pro semi-bold, while for the words, I used Married Pro regular. We are now going to add the Napoli logo. Once we are done, we are going to add a gradient fill and select the foreground to transparent preset and change the white stop color to our shape color. Afterwards, I changed the style to linear, and for the angle, I placed it at 48.37. I then changed the blending mode to linear bond, opacity 47%, fill 90%. I also duplicated the gradient fill and I also added a levels layer. Afterwards, I decided to change our triangle stroke to a gradient stroke using two colors, our shape color and white. Lastly, we are going to type Victor Osimhen, and the font we are going to be using is Black Light D. And we are done. Here's the final result, guys. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and also share this video to someone who might need it as well. Please also follow me on my socials, which will be available in the description below, as well as the link to the tutorial materials. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.